Now at 10, the city of Miami wins an order against the Grand River Dam authorities for years of excessive flooding. Plus, staff members at MSSU have to evacuate their offices after a water pipe bursts. And a new MSSU building will honor a former Missouri senator.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The city of Miami wins a major victory in the long battle over the extensive flooding caused by the Grand River Dam's authorities' operation of the Pensacola project. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Elise Snowy. Flooding is a decades-long problem for the city of Miami and its residents. An order issued by the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission conclusively found that, quote, the project has increased flooding around the city of Miami. It also says that the GRDA's current FERC license requires GRDA to acquire adequate property rights in perpetuity to accomplish all project purposes, including flood control. The order also indicates that GRDA has been in violation of its license since 1997. More than 80 staff members at Missouri Southern had to move their offices to different buildings after a fire sprinkler system pipe broke on the 3rd floor of Hearns Hall on Sunday. High-pressure water flowed for about 30 minutes in the university's main administration building, enough to spread through all 3 floors at the facility. But despite the challenges of relocation, the employees are maintaining a positive attitude about it.
There was water just flowing down stairwells. There was standing water 2 to 3 inches. So it was a pretty significant situation.
When you think about your office, it's kind of your home, from day to day. And so to pack up your belongings and think about everything that you have in your desk drawer and all your creature comforts that make life bearable through the week, and we had to pack all that up and relocate it to a new place.
Investigators still haven't determined whether the cold temperatures hitting the area have anything to do with the break. MSSU hopes to have the building back in operation by the summer. Missouri Southern's Board of Governors unanimously approved a request to name its Health Science Innovation Center in honor of former U.S. Senator Roy Blunt. During the senator's time in office, he helped spread $2 million in federal support for the new center that incorporated a $2 million state match. Blunt expressed appreciation for the honor and support for the facility. Ground is expected to be broken on the new facility this spring. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with the first look at weather.
Well, of course, back in the deep freeze for us today. We actually had a midnight high. This is 26 degrees, but we didn't get out of the teens all day long. In fact, we dropped to 7, average high is 45 degrees. We're going to stay below normal once again as we go through the next few days, but at least we're going to get rid of the extreme cold by the second half of the weekend. Wind chill advisory in effect till noon tomorrow. It's breezy out there, but of course, when temperatures get this cold, you don't like the wind because it makes it feel even colder. All right, not a whole bunch going on for us. The Central Plains looking pretty good, but look at our wind chills later on tonight, down to about -10 to -15, brutally cold. And then as we go through the daytime hours tomorrow, still our wind chill is only going to be about 0 to 5 above all day long. Now, we could get a little bit of freezing rain in the forecast Sunday night. I'll have those details for you here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, don't forget you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Well, Carthage has welcomed a new assistant principal to the junior high school. Today, Josh Van Slyke. Van Slyke brings the experience of both an educator and coach with a background in teaching math and pre-algebra, as well as coaching junior high football, basketball, and track. Van Slyke's appointment becomes effective for the 2024 to the 2025 school year. The city of Carthage is asking residents to take a survey about its aquatic center. The Carthage Municipal Pool was originally designed in the 1930s. In addition to the outdated layout, the facility has experienced significant maintenance challenges. Carthage Parks and Recreation Department is asking residents to provide their input to understand the needs and priorities of the community. For more information on how to take the survey, you can visit our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. A new partnership will allow the Kansas Talking Books program to increase the amount of free services it provides to the blind and visually impaired. The program has joined forces with the National Federation of the Blind to provide over 500 publications, including national, state, and international newspapers. The partnership will enable patrons to access to a variety of accessibility methods, including touch-tone telephone, website, iOS mobile app, and Amazon Alexa smart speakers. Pittsburgh State University hosted an intramural esports expo today. The esports intramural program formed last year as part of campus recreation in affiliation with the National Association of Collegiate Esports and the National Esports Collegiate Conference. The public was invited out to watch teams of Pitt State students take on teams from at least 3 other universities.
So esports is competitive video games at its core. So there are various different titles, so I like to compare it to like a track meet where, you go, you have your runners, you have your jumpers, you have your throwers, right? Those are all different events, but they're all combined into one, thing. And that's what esports is. So we have, our first-person shooters, our MOBAs, and those are some lingo with it, but just different types of games that we compete against.
The day featured matchups from Valorant, Rocket League, Overwatch, and League of Legends. Later in sports, it's tournament time in the 4 states. John has highlights from today's round of the Bill Hanson Memorial in just a few minutes. But first, a cowboy in Arkansas shows what heroes are made of with some life-saving lasso skills.
Strong, but we still have way too much of it.
Evergy Energy customers in Missouri will soon see a change to their energy bills. Starting February 1st, as many as 30 counties in the Show Me State, including Burton and Verdon counties, will see the cost of their energy bills go up by another $1.35 a month. A residential customer using 1,000 kilowatt hours of electricity a month will see the additional charge. The state of Kansas announces that 8 candidates, 4 Democrats and 4 Republicans, met today's filing deadline for the state's presidential preference primary. The Democrat filed candidates are Dean Phillips, Jason Michael Palmer, Joseph R. Biden Jr., and Marianne Williamson. The Republicans filed candidates are Donald J. Trump, Nikki R. Kelly, Ron DeSantis, and Ryan L. Binkley. The preference primary will be held on March 19th. Family and friends of a World War II veteran came together this week to celebrate a milestone birthday. John Mandrell of Oklahoma turned 100 years old Thursday, surrounded by his children, grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren. Born in 1924, Mandrell served in the Army during World War II as a generator mechanic, moving up the rank of corporal.
I'm so proud of our veterans. I'm so proud of my grandpa. I'm proud of the man, the quality he is. Knowing there's not many of them left, though, is sad.
Fewer than 1% of World War II veterans are still alive today. A cowboy in Arkansas rescued a calf from his neighbor's frozen pond on yesterday morning. Macy Davis has the story.
It was a legendary lasso in Paragould Thursday morning.
I noticed that the little calf was out on the pond and I couldn't find my rope, and so I thought about a close by neighbor that usually does this stuff, so I called him.
That neighbor is Max Bishop. He trains mules and horses for a living.
That's pretty much what we do, is hang out, ride mules, and play cowboy all day.
After learning about the calf moving out into the middle of a frozen pond, he knew what he had to do.
We just drove the truck right to the pond and just ran up there and got it roped and got it drug out.
Although Bishop made the whole process look utterly simple.
No, I did not rope it the first try. It's actually pretty comical. So I threw it so hard that the rope just kept going, and I threw the whole dang rope was out there.
Luckily, he had a backup rope to throw out a calculated lasso.
It was real lucky because where the calf had been laying, the ice had already started breaking and melting.
The calf's owner, John Lane, said this is the worst time of year for his livestock.
And when the ponds melt, the cows still will go out on them. And before you know it, they're out on it. I've already lost 5 calves.
The calf's mom did become a concern for Bishop during the rescue.
Because I was thinking that if she gets mad, she runs me over and knocks me in this pond. That's going to get really cold.
The Paragould cowboy said he's always willing to help out his neighbors, and it was an added benefit to see his daughter so happy.
Come pet it? Yes. We got her involved now. Oh yeah, get her I think it's important for Region 8 and America in general is just to help your neighbors any way you can.
It's good. You always want to know a good neighbor. Max is a good neighbor.
Now all is well for the little calf that walked out onto the ice, and Bishop will be waiting for the next call to round up another animal that's not where it should be.
If anyone else called you up to wrangle their calf or cow, would you do it?
Absolutely. We'll be loaded and going in about 10 minutes.
Doug returns with weather, and a little later, the Four-State Classic rolled in today too. John has highlights from all the day's action coming up in sports.
On flooring.
They last at FletcherToyota.com.
Well, of course, another cold one for us today. All day long, we couldn't get out of the teens, and so far, January has been below average. I do think we're going to kick it up a notch a little bit toward the warmer side as we get through the last 2 weeks of January. But we've been in the deep freeze since last Friday. We had a high of 52, midnight high, but we were in the teens all day, then 19. Look at this, high of a 1 on Sunday, 9, 13, 36, 42, and then back to 17 for us today, which kind of stinks. Let's go outside. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Look at the flags, which are blowing in the wind. When you get this cold, of course, you get that wind chill. And this Arctic air is just really kind of dense across the Central Plains. It retreated for a couple days. Here it is again. Sticks around for us tomorrow. But watch this. On Sunday, watch it retreat. It goes away. We're not going to have to deal with Arctic air at least the next 2 or 3 weeks, probably 3 weeks, maybe even 4. So just a little bit longer, and then we'll get it out of here. Wind chill advisory in effect until noon for us tomorrow due to the light winds and our wind chills and our temperatures, so the wind chill factor down to about -15 by morning. Remember to continue to drip your faucets all the way through the weekend. You can stop doing it on Sunday, and wash the pets. They don't like being cold either. Wind chills tomorrow 0 to 5 above. They go back down to about -5 by the time we head into Sunday morning. All right, not a whole bunch going on here. Pretty much clear skies, but our next storm system brewing out across the Pacific Northwest. This will start to affect us by the time we get into Sunday night. Now, until we get there, we look okay. It's just cold. Temperatures 3, maybe 4 during the morning hours. By noon, should be in the mid-teens. I think most of us get to about 20, maybe 21. 19 Stockton. Let's go 20 in Fort Scott. Let's go Veneta 23. Let's go Pineville 25, Bentonville 22. Tomorrow night, some clouds start to increase, but not as cold. Still cold, but not as cold, mid-teens. Sunday, a lot of clouds, but look at our highs. We get into the mid-30s, still 10 degrees below our average, but looking better. Now, Sunday night, so here's 8:30 p.m. See this pink? This is freezing rain and freezing drizzle, which starts to press through the region. It's going to be fairly light, but we are going to have batches with temperatures sitting 30 to 31 degrees, so that this could put a glaze on the roadways as we go into Monday morning. Good news here is we get above freezing on Monday, so if we do have any issues, it will melt late morning on Monday, but a nice little glaze is definitely possible across the region. So we'll start with some freezing rain and sleet, and then we transition over to rain as we go into Monday afternoon. All right, day planner for you Saturday, 6 at 9 a.m., 17 by 1, 19 by 5 p.m. Deep freeze for the next couple days, 22 tomorrow, 38 Sunday, 40 on Monday, but we got to watch that morning ice, and then upper 40s to near 50 most of next week, but plenty of chances for rain all the way through the week. Elise?
Still ahead, 3 local basketball tournaments reach the semifinal round this evening. John Dales has highlights from several games across the 4 states up next in sports.
That'll change your brochure.
Another day full of high school basketball here in the 4 states, starting first with the 4-State Classic at Frontenac, where we begin the afternoon with one of the better matchups of the day between Kansas and Missouri schools. Fort Scott girls basketball enters the night undefeated. Lady Tigers taking on the Lady Tigers with Nevada the opponent. Clara Swearingen gets the offense started for the visitors. First, she hits a 3 from the top of the key, then off the high ball screen, 1 dribble, and she connects for 2. And by this point, I think you know what's coming here. Swearingen again from deep. Nevada up by 11 late in the first quarter. Fort Scott not going to go away that easily though. Keegan Urich pulls up from 3. She connects. Biggest lead of the first half after this play. Kaylee Holcomb drives to the hoop. Through tight defense, gets the bucket and the foul. That makes it a 12-point lead. Fort Scott would battle all the way back from a double-digit deficit, but Clara Swearingen scores the game winner with just seconds left to play. Nevada hands Fort Scott its first loss of the season. Webb City boys basketball tonight in the semifinals at Frontenac against Life Prep from Wichita. Kicking things off, Baron Duda gets a nice steal. He drives up the court, pulls up for 3, and he drains it. That's his 100th three-point field goal in his career. Cardinals start with an 11-0 run, but Life Prep finds its footing. Check this out. Determined Russell assists Arthur Videra. He dunks it. He finishes the game with 28. Life Prep again off the missed 3. Videra gets it, plus the contact, bucket, and a foul. Webb City up by 4 at halftime. It never got closer than that. Check out this pass from Holton Keith behind the back to Duda, who knocks it off the glass for 2. Keith finishes with 5 assists. Duda has 24 points. Competitive game, but Duda knocks down another 3 to seal this one. Webb City beats Life Prep by 10 to move on to the finals for their 6th consecutive season. Shifting gears over to the Bill Hanson Memorial at Pittsburgh. Carl Junction girls winners last night, trying to repeat that tonight against a very good opponent. Carl Junction taking on the number 4 ranked team in Class 6A from Kansas. That's Blue Valley Northwest. Winner goes on to the championship. First quarter, Lainey Douglas posts up and gets the bucket. Huskies open the game with a 12-0 run. Later in the half, Kylie Scott dishes to Desi Williams for 2. Lady Bulldogs cut the lead to 10. Second quarter, Tamia Davis gets the steal and the finish with the layup on the other end. Carl Junction, though, able to respond. Next possession, they get a bucket of their own. Kylie Scott works inside for 2. CJ, though, down by 21 at halftime. In the second half, Carl Junction draws up a nice play for Desi Williams to get an easy 2, but Blue Valley Northwest couldn't miss tonight. Tamia Davis in the corner for another 3. Blue Valley Northwest goes on to beat Carl Junction 63-22. Over to the boys division, the host team Pittsburgh facing the Owasso Rams in the semifinals. Opening minutes of the contest, Jaden Brown with the pump fake, step inside the 3-point arc, and he drills it for 2. Later in the half, Mason English stole the spotlight. He drives in for the layup. Later, pulls up from the top of the key for 3. Nothing but net. Then English launches another 3-pointer, and it's money. Pittsburgh playing well in the first half, but down by 5 after 2 quarters of play. In the third, Cody Lecklider hits a big 3-pointer in the corner. Owasso up by 14. Pittsburgh comes back the other way. Mason English gets fouled, and you can count the bucket as well, but Owasso had an answer all night. Bowden Williams pulls up from mid-range, knocks it down. Owasso beats Pitt 76-62. Purple Dragons playing the third place game tomorrow at 11:30. Then over to the Cherokee, Kansas, where the Lancer Classic has taken place. College Heights and Riverton boys basketball meet in the semifinals. Winner goes on to the championship game. College Heights boys basketball facing off against Riverton. Cougars come out strong. Colson Dickinson with no hesitation on the catch and shoot 3. Game's tied at 5. Then Dickinson again gets the steal at midcourt, and he weaves his way past a few Riverton defenders to get the tricky layup to fall. Cougars up by 4. Rams, though, able to break the full court pressure this time, and they go up top with it. Tarek Richardson hammers home the alley-oop. Riverton down by 5 at halftime. Second half now, and this is one of 3 3-pointers in the third quarter by Cale Forbes. It cuts the lead down to 2. Then Locke North goes back to the alley-oop to Richardson. Hard to stop him. At 6'9", Riverton wins a close one over College Heights 60-57. The Rams will play in the championship tomorrow night. All that adds up to a lot of exciting basketball played tonight in the 4 states and a lot more tomorrow as well.
Absolutely, some great games for sure.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, John. Well, that's a look at sports. We're back with more news right after this.
90%.
4-state hero.
Today is country music legend Dolly Parton's birthday, and the Miami Public Library is celebrating. Today they hosted a party featuring 7 pieces of Dolly-inspired art. The library auctioned the art off through Facebook before the party, with the proceeds going to support the Ottawa County chapter of Dolly Parton's Imagination Library.
The program is where every child under the age of 5 can receive a free book every single month until their 5th birthday. And so it's free to them. However, as a community and as a whole, we have to pay for those items.
It's great, man. Most of our employees are still in school too, so doing something that can contribute to education is great because all of our kids are still in school. And I know that, probably some of them might have been Imagination Library kids too.
Miami Police Chief Thomas Anderson even dressed up as Dolly Parton for the party.
Well, super cold night for us tonight. Make sure you drip the faucet. We're going to drop back to about 4 degrees once again. Wind chill about -15 by morning. Sunny skies tomorrow, but a high of only 22. We do get above freezing on Sunday, and we need to watch out for a little bit of freezing drizzle and a little bit of freezing rain Sunday night into Monday morning. Elise?
I don't know about you. I'm done with this cold weather.
Yeah, so am I. I've had about enough of it.
Final sports note, yeah.
Tomorrow, big weekend for sports. Tomorrow, the championship round and all those high school basketball tournaments. On Sunday, big game for Missouri Southern. The girls basketball team trying to win its 10th in a row. And, of course, the Chiefs playing the Bills trying to go to a 6th straight AFC championship.
A lot to look forward to. Well, that's our time for now. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for making us part of your night.
Sponsored by